Hello friends, we are nearly halfway through 2022 and today we are going to talk about goal progression and the state of my channel. It's June and this video could not have come at a better time. I've really hit a crossroads where my creative work is concerned, not that it's any terrible thing. I'm used to this happening about once a year. I'm a big pivoter, and usually I will sort myself out. But I'm in the process right now of sort of reining myself in a bit, seeing what's working and what's not. And while I was doing this, I thought, why not see where I'm at specifically with the goals I set in my New Year's tag? And at the same time, I can give you a life update, a channel update, since I promised that in one of my recent videos. I think it was one of the Quora ones. So let's get into it. I've just made a few notes for myself to remind me of what I said in that New Year's tag, but other than that, I'm just gonna go off the cuff and try to have a casual discussion with everyone watching here. So the first question that I asked in that tag was, what are your word, page, or project count goals for 2022? What I said for this was that my word count, I only really look after that during NaNoWriMo, which is true. I was planning to participate in Camp Rimo, not in April, but in July. That is still going to happen, so that is not something I've fallen down on at all. I was thinking of going out into like a little country spot or something though to work on my writing. I probably won't be doing that because I have spent way too much money in April and May and I need to step it back a little bit. During Camp Rimo, I had planned to complete either Eternity or Sinterra. That is still the plan. I think it's going to be Sinterra though. I can say that pretty clearly because I am closer to finishing that one and I would really like to start shopping it around. Well, get it edited and then shop it around. So the other goal within that was to finish that other one mentioned anyway, Sinterra or Eternity. In this case, Eternity. I want to finish that anyway outside of camp. That I don't know if it's going to be possible just because I've taken on so many other projects that that my writing has been limited, which is, by the way, one of the reasons that I'm trying to do a pivot and a reevaluation, because at the beginning of this year I was telling myself writing is the priority, cut out other things, and I'd done that for a bit, but other things kept creeping back in, and that's where I'm at now. So I'm thinking at this point, my other goal was of course to start a new draft during NaNoWriMo, which would end up having a total of 3 manuscripts finished in 2022. But the thing is, at this point, I am thinking maybe I will actually do Rebel Rimo this year, because I really don't need another manuscript at the moment, since I'm still querying for A Time When Demons. So I think I might do Rebel Rimo, especially because I'm going to be a ML this year, so I'm going to have more work on my plate. So Rebel Rimo will probably be Eternity, and that's where I'm at for that first question. For the second question, it was, what is one writing mistake that you made this year that you won't make in 2022? Touched on this already. Last year I said that NaNoWriMo really set me up well for writing every day, which it did, and it did again this year. But those other projects, I haven't been writing every day, and I need to get back to that. I'm actually getting back to that this week though, which is exciting. Well, maybe not every day, but at least 3 times a week I'm going to be writing, because I'm going back to sprints, which is really exciting. I hope all of you are excited too, and that you're still here and watching. I don't know, but I'm going to be doing sprints on YouTube again on Saturdays, starting this Saturday, and I am starting sprints on my Discord channel again too, because my Discord server again too, because I hadn't been doing those for a while. They're going to be running later, so it'll be Wednesdays and Thursdays, 9 to 11 Eastern, and you can find the link below and join us there. So at least 3 days out of the week, I will be getting good chunks of writing in. My other mistake was that I didn't hit par every day with Nano, and I would like to do that. That's in November, so we'll see, but I think I'm capable of it. It's 1,606 words a day, so I'm hoping to do that rather than going over on some days and under on other days. For the third question, I asked, what genre or genres do you plan to write in, and do you plan to explore any new genres? I had said that I want to explore new genres, something I want very much to do, especially recently since I started doing some spoken word and flash fiction. I would like to write something that is less sort of fantasy and a bit more real, but like I said in the New Year's tag, I am stuck in the fantasy YA realm for a while. That's where I started. And I have quite a few manuscripts that I want to finish. I want to get them out there, so I've got a good chunk of YA still to do. And at least once I finish those drafts, I can dabble in lengthier non-fantasy manuscripts. So that hasn't really changed. Question 4. I asked, how do you plan to push your creative boundaries this year? Now, this one, I answered one thing kind of vaguely, which I have now talked about, and that was Explory Story. So writing for a video game was a very different thing for me. I'm not quite finished yet. I'm still working on it. But I'm almost there, and it's been really exciting and just really cool exploring that different kind of platform for my writing. So I have been successful in pushing that creative boundary in that way this year. I also wanted to read more and read less fantasy in the vein of, writing less fantasy. And I've done that a bit. If you check my Goodreads, I'm not going to check my Goodreads right now. It doesn't matter, but I have read some non-fantasy. I still have not read as much as I want to, but this week, again, with the reset, I'm trying to get in at least an hour of reading a day, and I've got such a big stack of things, and I have some buddy reading that I want to do too. So I will be doing that, and I have done a little bit of that, so we're okay there. Last in that question of creative boundaries was I wanted to conquer the short story. I really pictured myself focusing more on writing this year, and it's just I know I still have half the year, and I've got Camp Rimo and NaNoWriMo and time to get myself back on track a bit, but with everything I'm doing, with events, with traveling, with Comic-Con, which I'm not going to be doing that again, it just it's really frozen a lot of things, but I did start little bits of flash fiction, and I've been doing more poetry, so that's helping me move along and get ready for writing shorter pieces. So I still do plan to write that. Number 5 was, do you have any editing goals for the new year? And that was, I need to edit As Above, So Below. I started that, I think I got about 12 pages in, and then busy. What else? Busy. I am still working on that, though. I just need to work it into my schedule. I think once the major part of Explory Story is done, and we're just sort of in editing and revision and, little changes and stuff as the game develops, then I'll be able to get back into editing and move some more of my main writing into that writing time. So yeah, that was the editing goals. And the next question was, do you have any publishing goals? I always have publishing goals, aside from my constant search for an agent and publisher. I did want to get short stories out into magazines, which tied in with my whole thing with pushing creative boundaries, but I haven't been able to do that. That being said, I have been doing a lot of queries with agents and publishers. I've been on top of that way more than last year. And I have been submitting a lot of stuff to contests and things like that, little grant projects and anything I can find like that through query websites. And I haven't really heard anything positive back from it yet, but I'm doing the legwork at least. The 7th question out of 10, don't worry, this won't be going on for an hour. This one was, what do you want to accomplish with your AuthorTube in 22? So my answer to that was weekly videos, because last time I dropped out about halfway through the year because I was discouraged, and here we are again. I made a little note for myself of a quote from my video last year where I said, I'm aware of how important consistency is, even though when I came back after break I got a big boost in views and subs. So my thing was, as someone who works on a video creation platform for my day job, I knew that consistency was a really important thing, so I was just gonna get it together, and even though I was disappointed and sad and blah about how this was going, I was just gonna post every week, and I did for a really long time, but you know what? It didn't matter. It didn't matter. So I'm at a point now where I'm posting sort of when I want to. I want to maintain some sort of regularity, but I haven't decided what that will be. And since it doesn't matter, like, I want to keep, for the people who are watching, I appreciate you so much. People who are still commenting, even though that's down to like 1 or 2 people. I do really appreciate what I do have, and it would be nice to see some growth, but for the people who are here, I'm gonna keep putting some content out, try to be better with that, maybe like at least 2 videos a month, because I don't want this channel to die, and I do love it, and when I'm not feeling down and terrible and like everything I do has 0 results for the last, 20 years of my life, which in a lot of cases is true. When I'm not feeling that way, I enjoy doing this. Like right now, I'm enjoying talking. I'm enjoying making this video, and I like this sort of just sit down and chat thing, but it's hard to keep going. Like I said in my New Year's tag, when you are introverted, when this isn't your natural thing to be doing, it with lack of results, it makes it even harder to sit down and do it. But I'm gonna keep doing it. Don't worry. I just have to find the best things to do. I tried to put some more community-based stuff out, talking to other creators, because I enjoy doing that, and I thought maybe you would all like to see it, some local stuff, the shows I've been doing, but I realized that's kind of outside of the main content of the channel, and it hasn't been doing that well, so that might be one of the things I pivot on and turn around and go back to more of these just, let's talk about writing, let's do some education, let's do a day in the life of, and keep it simple like that, because I enjoy those quite a bit too. The only thing is I want to figure out what to do with those community videos, because I want a space for them, but I don't want to start a new channel. So they might go to my Patreon, or they might become Facebook videos, something like that. If you have any ideas, or if you're someone who likes those videos, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Would you like to see them on this channel still? Would you watch them on Facebook? What do you think? Let me know. But number 8 was, what type of AuthorTube video would you like to see disappear forever in the new year? That hasn't changed, and it has nothing to do with my productivity. Sponsored big company content. There's a site out there that has someone who puts stuff forward as if they're part of the community, and I think they might have been at one point, but it's very much just like luring you into their services, and I know it might be helpful and some people might like it, but I'm just not a fan, and I'm still not a fan, but I don't know. I think it was bugging me a lot in January, because I was getting it suggested a lot in my algorithm because of my kind of content, but I said no enough times that I'm not getting it, and now I don't really care. Number 9, second last, also not about my productivity. It was just about if I could hand over all of my online content production work to one of my characters, who would it be? I had said a combination of Amiri and Kira. I stand by it. Now I would just say, if I could hand it over to anyone, take it. You could have it. You could do all my social media. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, last but not least, number 10 has to fill in the blank. 2022 will be the year of blank. And I said progress, because I finally felt confident about my writing. So I was willing to experiment, put myself out there in a real way, and was excited to promote at Fan Expo and my cool secret collab, Explory Story. I think there's been progress, just in that I'm doing a lot, more than ever. Actually, my mom, who has obviously followed me my entire life, told me that I always do a lot, but this year I'm really doing a lot. And that's also part of the pivot. I need to move some things around, put my foot down in some areas, set some boundaries, because anytime someone comes to me with a creative project, I'm just like, yes, let's do it. Give it to me. I have trouble saying no when it comes to creative projects and collaboration and stuff, because I just love it so much, and I'm always battling with this thing where it even says this on my resume, like my number one passion in life is bringing creative types together and helping them to succeed, sort of creating these groups. I think I'm good at putting collaborators together, and I like putting them together and seeing what they make and being involved in that in some way. So I am always fighting that with doing my own stuff and promoting my own stuff. And through every year, I will slide into doing more for other people than I'm doing for myself. And I'm just at that point again. So I think going through those questions and a bit of soul searching, thank you for listening, going through all those questions, I'm not doing as bad as I could be. But, and like, I know this is a very me-centric video, by the way. It's my channel, but still, I want to talk about other people too, and I want to, that thing I was just talking about. Anyhow, I guess I just wanted to say, but for anyone who's having trouble sticking to their goals for 2022, you're not alone. And if you want to talk about it down below, definitely leave a comment and I will talk about it with you. But yeah, like it could be worse, but I am at the point where I need to pivot, and I guess there's not much else to say about it. Future of this channel, I'm gonna keep doing videos. They might not be every week though, and that is okay. I just hope that when I do put out videos, there's something that you all want to watch. So if anyone's listening, if there's something you especially like that I do on this channel, or that you especially don't like that I do on this channel, let me know. I'm very open to feedback. I mean, don't be mean, but like, if you just say, the community stuff I'm not that into, the interviews I'm not that into, something like the day in the life I'm not that into, or like the day in the life I really am into, or, you know, your educational stuff is the bomb. Just tell me, because it helps, it matters, and it helps me make things that you want to see, which is what this is all about in the end. So I think that's it. Just a reminder, like I mentioned further back in the video, I am doing sprints on Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. If you want sprints during the week, back at that as well a bit later, because I'm fitting more into my schedule, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. Link is in the description below. Everything's in the description down below. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button, please, so you actually get notified when I post new videos, because otherwise YouTube won't let you know. They won't. And I mean, sometimes even if you hit the bell, they still won't, but try it, because there's a better chance anyway. And of course, last but not least, I hope that you are having a day that is just as wonderful as you are. Bye.